Dear colleagues, you are welcome to hear a presentation of scientific study called The State of European Union-Ukraine Association Agreement Implementation on Air Quality. Thanks for you for supporting in such hard time, and European integration role of Ukraine is growing. That's why it is very important to analyze different factors of European integration of Ukraine, and one of them is environment and air quality. So the aim of the study is to analyze such state of implementation of Association of Agreement on Air Quality, including state of quality of air monitoring system, types of limiting value, comparing of limiting values of pollutants, alerting system, and access of publicity to information related to air. Commitments of Ukraine related to air is declared in Annex 30 of the Association Agreement, and especially at the Chapter 6 Environment. Also, targets of countries are declared in strategical documents. For example, in the European Union it's document Europe 2020, and in Ukraine it's Ukraine 2020. As we can see, in document Europe 2020 characterized by very specific targets, aims, and Ukraine 2020 have only one specific target that's related to increase energy efficiency and pollution. Europe 2020 targets to decrease by 20% greenhouse emissions, also to provide 20% of consumed energy from renewables, and to increase the energy efficiency of production by 20% compared to 2010. Currently, at the strategy Europe 2030 is developed, but it do not have such specific targets related to air. That's why such analyses have been provided. Generally, there are three main reports related to European integration of Ukraine. It's a report provided by European Commission, it's a report provided by Ukrainian government, and also a report provided by Center of European Policy, but any of them do not provide a high level of scientifically analysis of such parameters. For example, there were no analysis of values in the European Union and Ukraine that is used to control state of air quality. Ukraine is committed to implement in Ukrainian law two main directives, and they are Directive 2008-50 European Commission, it's Framework Directive of Europe, and 2004-107 that's related to arsenic, cadmium, and nickel. But in this study we were analyzing not only that directives, but generally law of EU, because in future we will have to implement it also. And also we have commitment to implement 4 directives related to fuel and transport, and mainly it's about quality of diesel fuels and amount of sulfur content in certain liquid fuels, and also about limitation of emissions from volatile organic compounds and control of such compounds. So let's talk about analysis at the specific field. We use only two types of control values. It's maximum available emissions and maximum available concentration. You have much more developed system. It includes limiting value, target value, alert threshold, information threshold, critical level, and mean value. So limiting value is the same as our maximum available concentration. Target value, if it's the value which is target for countries to reach. Our threshold is the value when alert is conducted. Information threshold is the level when information is conducted, and there are a lot of different types of values to take into account not only effect on humans but also effect on ecosystems and animals. Comparing of values at the EU and Ukraine shows that mostly the European law requires a cleaner air than our. So, for example, arsenic, cadmium, nickel values are much lower at the European Union. Also, level of CO2 that effect on 1 hour is lower in Europe, and only CO2 level and SO2 level that affect daily, and also lead level is lesser in Ukraine. Also, it was noted that we have no any value to limit dioxin compared to EU's law. Ukrainian law mostly correspond to European law related to monitoring points. However, it do not regulate the amount of sampling point, and so near industrial zone may not have required quantity of sampling points compared to European legislation, or do not have them at all. Also, both Ukraine and EU use internet to inform people about the state of air quality, and the EU used GIS, and in Ukraine is web posts that are published by officials. However, nowadays also in Ukraine such GIS system is implementing, but it's not widespread generally. In this slide we can see general state of implementation of association agreement on air quality, and generally red icons do not mean that there's nothing done in this field, but it just means that it's not implemented in full scale, and where there is significant movement to the IM, it's shown yellow, but it is possible to see that there is no any commitment implemented fully. There are a lot of things done related to 2016 802, also about European fuel pack, also about Directive 2008/50, and about Directive 2004/42, and there are a lot of work that is going on, and hope that implementation process will be soon successfully finished. So if you have any question, here is my email and contacts. Also you can use ResearchGate, Scopus and Scholar to find papers. Thank you for attention.